One thing that I'm getting from a lot of the feedback is uncertainty that people are going to make the right choices. They want to know they're going to go through the organic process and not be tricked or not be led or in some way end up in a synthetic environment. What, if any, are there signs or symptoms in a person's life, in a person's body, that can confirm for them that they are on the path to an organic ascension process? Is there anything you can...
Yeah. I would say, do they feel like they belong there? Not do they feel on a shallow level like they're heading there, but do they feel like they belong there? And I would say it's that sense of belonging that is the sign that will is really the sign that will tell you, yeah, I feel like I belong there. I feel like I've earned my right to be there, and everybody has the right to be there. Really, anybody can ascend. It's not exclusive. Having said that, there is a process at hand. I've said it before. There'll be beings who will be perceived as being negative at this point in time, but will end up ascending, because it's all about achieving balance. So there'll be people who feel like they are in a lot of pain at the moment, that they're spiraling a lot of negativity within their life at the moment. And that is the drama. I call it the merry-go-round of misery and drama, because I was there. I went through this process myself. And when you're in that state, you don't see things clearly. You really don't. That's the reality. And I say to those people to be patient, because something that came to me just the other day, this is really appropriate time to share it, was I am not perfect, but I am perfect the way I am. And I want people to know that they are perfect the way they are right now, with that pain, with that misery, and it's just an energetic process that they're going through in order to rebalance themselves.
Uncertainty and doubt
because
are ingrained in us, and not to trust our energy, which not to trust, always to trust outside, and so that we end up feeling like the world is in such a mess. The 5D just sounds almost too good to be true. Is what I'm feeling just wishful thinking and wanting out of this, or is what I'm feeling that sense of belonging, that sense of knowing that that's where I belong? So even though you say take it from the sense of, do I really feel like I belong there? People are even going to doubt that. You know, I think it's just a process, like you said, of learning to trust.
It does depend on how deep, how many layers of doubt they have, and to get into that deeper space within where you know that you belong somewhere that's harmonious and basically just peaceful and graceful, a reality that shows those attributes of life, that are those attributes of life, rather than, because you've got the other paradigm. We've been in such a negative swing for so long, on the pendulum swing, on the negative side, or negative charge of the energy of the universe for so long. And you've got the opposing force of that is what we call positive and light. You know, so you've got negative and dark, and the opposing force of that is positive and light. And so that is now coming into play in a very strong way. But that positive and light is only the opposing force to negative and dark. It is this equal. It is not. That light sees itself as above the dark, that it's better than the dark. And then you've got this negative energy and darkish sort of energy that sees itself as better than the light. So you've got these two equal opposing forces. The light that I'm referring to is above and beyond those two. You take those two energetic streams and you integrate them into one. Okay? And that energy that is infinite beyond that is the realm that I am expressing here. So the ones who come from this positive light charge here, which is the exact opposite and equal of the dark negative, they're the ones who make you feel like you must be eating these foods, doing these courses, you know, wearing white clothes or what have you, And if you're not doing all these great meditations and everything, you're not going to ascend. And then you've got, you know, that is prevalent in our societies, whether it comes through a religious avenue, a guru avenue, light and love meditations on the internet avenues, Galactic Federation avenues, you know, ETs promoting these sort of concepts. And they keep throwing it at you. It's coming at us from all these different angles, and that's that energy there. Those beings are in that paradigm there.
Yep.
But what I'm sharing is that life and this energy is beyond that, in much, you know, it's way beyond that. Yeah.
Are there physical? I mean, we seem to be experiencing a lot of physical symptoms.
Mm.
Are they necessarily signs that you are on the path to ascension because your body is actually going through those changes?
Well, yeah, whether you have them or not, we're on the path. The reason, because I get a lot of physical pain still, and the reason why we're getting it is because we're processing internally vast amounts of energetic streams that we're consciously not aware of.
Yeah.
And I've discovered in my journeys that we have many, many contracts with many races out there on many different levels. And so you may be processing an emotion that you are processing for yourself originally, but piggybacking your own energetic patterns that you're processing are energetic streams from other beings and other races out there. So we're doing the work for them as well. So we are ambassadors in this reality for those peoples.
Okay.
So we're carrying huge loads. That's why I say for a person who's curled up on the lounge and you know, and is in pain all the time and can't function in our society and can't go out to meditation groups, have tried different healing methods, have tried taking different natural remedies and substances or whatever, and just can't seem to find something that's going to fix it, is because it's not something you can fix. It's something you need to work through, and you need to, and it is, I use the word need, and it is a need for understanding that people are carrying an enormous load, and I mean enormous load, and as far as I'm concerned, they're heroes.
How often do you visit the fifth dimension?
Well, it's slowed down now, because what I'm finding is my incarnation here is now, I'm integrating with it more often, so it comes down to the state of being as George now, accessing or expressing more fifth dimensional. I mean, the knowledge I'm sharing with you here is not just 3-4D.
No.
So I'm already expressing 5D stuff right here, right now. There's parts of me that are expressing 5D. There's parts of me that are expressing 6th, 7th, 9th, 8th, 9th D, you know, and beyond. Some beings pick up on it, some beings don't. So you are walking, we are walking like Greg Braden, what a beautiful man. Love the guy. His famous saying, we are walking between worlds. I love that, because we are. Mm-hmm. We are multi-dimensional beings, and we're living that. And people thinking, I've got to get to 4D and I've got to... No, you're already there. I mean, if you go to a healer and you're getting an energetic healing done, that's 4D.
Yeah.
When you get to 5D, you don't need a healer. The concept of healing does not exist. The concept of healers does not exist. Because you're in harmony with life, nothing needs healing. Okay, so that's another thing people have got to come to terms with.
That's going to put a lot of people out of work.
It does. Oh, well, I've said it before, it's become an industry. That's the reality. And it's a sad reality, but we're talking about an industry. Yeah, I don't mean to put people down by that, but they need to take a really good look at
No, but I think the people who are in the industry are coming from a genuine place of wanting to heal. And
they are. Most. Some are not, and that is the reality too. But most people have good intentions.
Can you elaborate on the healing bit a bit more? Because not just for... Hang on, let me start again. I'll do that. Can you elaborate a little bit more on healing? Because we've got both people who are in need of healing, and we've got people who genuinely feel called to heal. So from both perspectives, where does that leave us if we're talking about the fact that it's just come down to an industry. I mean, and as we're changing and as we're evolving, those needs are going to change and evolve as well. So where we go?
Yeah. Some people may take it a bit harshly that I mentioned that it's become an industry. I'd just like people to take a look at it and reevaluate within themselves how they're going about it and their approach and their intentions. There are a lot of genuine, great people out there, no doubt about that. And I did mention before the concept of healing itself is a 3 and 4D concept. 5D, there's no healing that takes place because the harmony with life is so integrated that there's nothing that needs healing.
Nothing?
No, there isn't anything that needs healing. It's just purely experiencing life in a harmonious state.
Not even in a more
There's no aches and pains, there's none of that goes on because you're flowing in that river of life completely. It's a different state of being.
Well, yeah, it must be.
It is.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And so the concept of requiring healing are 3 and 4D concepts. And when we are in need of healing, we're transmuting an energy or healing in an energetic charge, which is a 3 or 4D energetic charge. People have been feeling like they need to help heal people as well, naturally inside of them. And they're playing this wonderful, nurturing 4D aspect of themselves. And these are all the different concepts. Like once you've travelled to the 5th dimension, once you reintegrate with it, and you begin to understand the difference between the two vibrational patterns. It becomes quite obvious and apparent. And the more and more people, there's many people out there that already understand what I'm saying, and there's others who will soon understand it quite quickly as well. And especially listening to this, they'll just contemplate it. Just contemplate the fact that if you're in a completely harmonious state of being and you're a one with life, then there isn't anything that needs healing. It's just common sense, really.
It does make sense.
It does make sense. If things need healing, then it's the charges of duality in an intense state of being, which is 3 and 4D expressions.
So from 5D, will we understand and know all of our past lives?
Yeah.
And our journey, our whole purpose?
And every aspect you have in 3 and 4D paradigm still. The whole lot, everything, you will know everything. The vastness of the cosmos, you connect to all of that. And you know wherever you put your attention, you'll know everything.
It sounds like such a leap from where we're at now.
It is, because we're being pushed down so far. It's because we're being funneled, squeezed on this road to compression. Remember, from the cosmos to one galaxy to star systems to a planetary body, it's this road to compression. Because it took the journey of separation, bringing it back into oneness, and you're reintegrating all that separation. So it's being squeezed and squeezed and squeezed into what we call 0 point, and then you pop out the other side, and you birth into a universal creator. That's the path.
It's like an hourglass.
Yeah, it's kind of like an hourglass. Yeah.
Oh. Popping out the other side.
Yeah, well, it's birthing out the birthing canal, and that's what Mother Earth is. This is the womb of the mother, and the galaxies, the Milky Way galaxies, the galactic womb, and now we're on the planetary womb, and we're about to birth.
Yeah, I know people, especially women right now, who talking about birthing, putting on weight. 5 kilos seems to be the magic number. People
just like that.
5 kilos, just like that, and it's always 5 kilos. It's not 10. It's not 3. And
I can attest
and
to
it's
that.
all here. Yeah,
that's right. I got my little Buddha belly happening too. So yeah.
And women telling me they feel like they're about to give birth.
Yeah.
And
Wow. That's really profound. Like that. What you just said there. I felt it. And knowing what the Divine Feminine is going through, and I know there's women that don't like men speaking on their behalf. I hope they get past that resentment. I'm really trying hard to in my life I've worked very, very hard to integrate with the Divine Feminine and to understand what's going on, and you know, I stand up for her and I'll defend her, and I do, and I do have a bit of an idea about the feminine, not a lot, but I do have some idea, a lot more than what I used to, a lot more than what I used to. So you know, I've stood up publicly, said she's my hero, and she is, and continues to be so. And so the prospect of women feeling like they're giving birth, they're already having phantom birthing experiences, to me is spot on. It just sits in my heart wonderfully, because the Divine Feminine is about to give birth. So if multitudes of women are feeling these strange phantom aches and pains, that's perfect. That to me is spot on. Yeah, absolute. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
love
know
it. Love to hear it. Yeah, you're all heroes, really, because we don't have that power of creation like the woman does, and that's what men need to come to terms with, and understand the feminine and our own counterpart, because the feminine is us, but it's our counterpart expression of our oneness, of our one being, of our unified, sanctified self. So. You know, we're still one being, but we're two different expressions of that one being.
And what about 5D? People are very anxious. They want to get there. They want a glimpse.
But they're already
I know.
there. That's the bit.
I get that. But in terms of having a conscious kind of... You've gone there in the sense of it felt like a visit.
Yeah, that's right, I have, yeah.
Most of us haven't done that.
Yeah, I understand.
But is there any way that we can facilitate an experience like that?
Not if it's not your journey. Like, your lower ego wants it to happen. There's a lot of things that George wanted to make happen, but they never happened. And I got frustrated, and you know, and I felt all that. And then I came to realise that I can't make it happen because it's not supposed to happen. It's not in my journey for it to happen. So I say to people, just give it a go, and if it doesn't work, just let it go. Let it be, and accept that it's not your journey. People are aching to see a spaceship. I've got friends who have studied ufology for 20 years. They've never had a single sighting themselves. They've never seen any evidence for themselves. All they do is read other people's experiences, and it's frustrated the hell out of these people, right? And they were just in front of me. They're just, George, please bring a ship down, let us see. Mate, I just can't do it. It doesn't work like that for me. For some people it does. For me, it doesn't work like that. I'd rather just flow in the river of life, and when it happens, it happens. I just don't operate that way.
This actually brings me on to something that I wasn't.
It's about acceptance. Sorry, just to finish that. It's about self-acceptance. It's better for the people just to accept that that's the journey they've chosen for themselves. And that's where they're at right now. And when you can do that, you find peace with it. And then maybe it'll start to happen.
Is there any way of mistaking an organic doorway and a technological stargate?
For the 99.999% of the people, no. For that tiny fraction, yes. Because it is their journey to make that mistake.
Okay. So, in other words, there is no mistake anyway.
Ultimately, there is no such thing as a mistake.
Right.
But it's the journey to experience the difference between a false opening and a true organic opening. You know, like a wormhole type structured setup. Instead of just a natural organic opening into a high plane in the universe, that's quite different.
People have connected with me and contacted me in a state of fear over the idea of making a mistake.
Yeah.
And worried that I'm going to fall for some stargate instead of going through that.
No, the knowing will be so overwhelming. It'll be just so complete, so through and through. People really shouldn't have anything to be concerned about. It will be... and the initial stages will be sometimes the parents will be in doubt, but then they're holding a child which is like 2 weeks old or 6 months old, and that child will have such a strong connection with them. In the beginning they'll freak out that the child is telling them where to go and what to do, and it won't be telepathic, it'll be heart consciousness connection. And then after a while, they'll get to the point where they'll just know as well. So things like that will occur. Yeah. The children will help steer the parents. But that'll happen quite a lot.
Do you see these doorways starting to open up this year?
Right towards the end of the year. I would say at the very, very end of October, early November, they'll begin to open. There'll be some people that'll start walking through them. Not before then.
And what happens from everybody else's perspective? These people just disappear?
Okay. I've already experienced, already had a future experience with this, where I was in front of my sister, and I said to her, "It's time for me to go to Avalon. I have to go now." And what I did was I just blended from this reality, and I felt myself going into Avalon, into the higher domains. And I remember seeing through the veil between the two realms and seeing my sister's face and the expression that she experienced in that moment. Other people have had other experiences, in relation to this sort of thing. So, and it wasn't a dream, okay? And it wasn't a manipulated dream, and it wasn't taken on board a craft and an experience that was implanted into me. It wasn't that. It was organic in nature. And people can say also that it's a possible outcome. Yeah, I'll agree with that. But I've had already experiences of that vibration, that flavour that I had prior, and those events have already manifested.
Right.
I've had others that felt a little bit different and didn't manifest, which and the way my ego was then, I thought was going to be the future, but didn't turn out to be the future. So the real future experiences you have down the timeline have a particular flavour to them. Okay. So I can identify between them now, because I'm still having some probable future experiences, and then ones that I just know are actually what's going to take place. And so we're going to be able to bilocate around the planet, and
after going into 5D or prior?
Yeah.
No, after.
After. Yeah. When we come back out, we'll be able to bilocate from one place to another. What? And that's the law of attraction.
Yeah.
That's how we traverse the universe. That's how, when we manifest a craft, a ship, which is an extension of our own being, our own light manifests that craft, and all the beings that are with it, what we do, all you do is you put your attention, like as where your journey is flowing, that you're meant to be in that part of the universe. And you put your attention and your awareness there, and you just disappear from that and reappear in that part of the universe instantaneously. And that's the propulsion system, so to speak, is the law of attraction. I mean, we've all incarnated. That's what gravity is, right?
Yeah.
Gravity. We've all incarnated here on Earth because our souls gravitated to here because it was the law of attraction. We were attracted here because the vibration here is what called our souls
yes.
to come and incarnate. It's the law of attraction.